see what Chris has been up to.
This is perfect. The sun's going away from us now. Okay. And the moon, let's just get that focus in here. There we go. Really have a difficult time focusing in on the moon. There it is. Now,
it's pretty far away, so.
Let me ask you a question. Let's just say, let's give a hypothetical scenario here and say we do live on a spinning wet ball and we're looking at the moon's reflection from the sun, correct? Okay.
We're looking at the moon reflecting light from the sun.
Okay. Which is absolute absurdity and an impossible ball, of course. But what I noticed during the daytime, when the sun is out, which it still is, I don't want to...
What happened to the two sun conspiracies? There are still people who think that. That's a part of certain, like, people's flat earth mythology or flat earth model. In and of itself, I don't know. That's more specific to, like, some people's delusions, probably, as opposed to a conspiracy in and of itself, just that there are two suns.
You know, put my zoom in on that. That wouldn't be a good idea.
Why?
That sun during the daytime, you could actually see through it. All right? It's starting to get its color now. You can still see...
He thinks that the craters on the moon that look like a different shade, he thinks that the craters that he's seeing, he thinks he's seeing the sky behind the moon, is what he's trying to say right now. So, like, you see this picture of the moon, how there's some dark areas where there's craters? He thinks that's the sky behind the moon. That's the level we're operating at.
It looks like you can still see through it with the fake craters up there.
The craters are fake? They're not fake craters. They're craters on the moon. You can see them in this picture.
But why isn't it still faded out a little bit, like you see in the middle of the day? Surely the sun is still there.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Why?
He does not think the moon is solid. He thinks it is a plasma or holographic in some way. Yes.
Why doesn't it do that? That is my question. Okay. Unfortunately, these are not tangible objects. That is certainly not a tangible object because it emits cold.
It does not. This is a belief that flat earthers have. Some of them started saying it because of a misunderstanding of a phenomenon called radiative cooling. So if it's outside and it's nighttime, for instance, and you go outside and you measure, let's say, in the middle of your yard under the moonlight, let's say it's 50 degrees, and then you go over to shade under a tree away from the moonlight, and the shade is, let's say, 52 degrees, and you go, wait a minute, how is the area that's in moonlight colder than the area under the shade? Now, that's counterintuitive, because normally when you think about warmth and shade, you're used to thinking of it as, the sun is hot, I get shade, I'm cooler, so you expect it to be cooler under the shade. In this case, however, most of the heat around you at nighttime isn't from, you know, the moon. The moon is not giving off enough light to, like, heat you in that way, in a noticeable way for you. However, there is a phenomenon called radiative cooling where, like, the heat that is ambient in your area, when the sun goes down, when you're away from the sun, the heat dissipates, and heat dissipates upward. When it's under the shade, radiative cooling, which is that moving of the heat upwards, gets blocked by the shade. So it's actually warmer because it's being insulated by the tree or whatever that's causing the shade in the first place. So flat earthers see this phenomenon and they think that it means that the moonlight is projecting cold with its light, which is impossible because that's not how light works. That's not how heat works. There is no such thing as cold as much as there is the absence of heat, and we call that cold. You can't project it.
All right. The way you could do a simple thing is just take one of those heat guns, put it on the ground.
Thermometer. Thermometer is the word.
In the shade, check the temperature. Outside of the shade, it'll be a 10-degree difference. And it's the same for the sun, too, which is leaving us now. Say goodbye to it. It'll be up tomorrow morning, right on the ticker. And of course, as you see, it's all faded out over there, too, with the chemtrails. And nice and blue
Chemtrails on the bingo card.
here. Oh, there they go. They're starting to ramp it up during the nighttime. But you have to understand, I believe that these trails feed off of the energy off of the moon.
Peep Lord says, does that mean my freeze ray isn't going to do anything except kill my crush?
It's a
Is it a Dr. Horrible reference?
full moon. Now this is, it's about
With my freeze ray, I will stop the world. Remember before we knew what a creep Joss Whedon was? Cthulhu Flower, thanks for 10 months, says, hi, streaming the day after Christmas. One might think you like us. On a good day.
say what, 65% right now. All right.
Ooh, Orion Cooper on YouTube says I got a Lego globe. That sounds super fun. I gotta show you guys. I didn't show you. For Christmas, Baha made me something so cool. If you're familiar with my D&D character from the past, the Professor, you've certainly seen the hat in the background at some point. She did, like, a necklace that has, like, a charm that's, like, her hat and spell book. It's so cute. And I love it. Very cool.
It feeds off the energy off of that, and it makes it morph. All right. Now just watch while this plane just dumps an enormous amount of God knows what on us. A lot of speculations of exactly.
It's exhaust from the engines and mostly water vapor. They're called contrails. They aren't full of, like, nefarious things. They are not chemtrails. This is just a byproduct of planes, of jets. It's fine.
What it is, ammonia, aluminum, who knows. For now, let's just concentrate on what I was talking about. Oh man, if I wish I had my 1000 right now, I could get the call letters on that and put that on my list, the little mother. Anyway.
Oh, that seems... Hello, FBI, is that a threat on the bingo card?
Oh, there we go, another one. They're beautiful now.
That should more be hello, FAA, is this a threat?
Oh, this time of day,
But yes.
they love them. They love it. They just love it. Chemtrailing us to death. Beautiful. Now, this gives you a perspective of exactly what goes on. Now, this happens all the time. Not every day, of course. But my point is, you can see this firsthand anytime. If you just bothered to go outside and look.
Old man yells at clouds on the bingo card.
That is not a tangible object. It's not. It's possibly plasma. It's possibly something. A reflection, possibly. I don't know, but it's not. You can't land on it. You can't do anything with it. The closer you get to it, the further away it'll get from you, just like you're chasing a rainbow, and then finally, bam, you'll hit the dome, or whatever else is up there.
There isn't a dome, and a rainbow is an optical illusion caused by refraction of light in the atmosphere. It's not a dome.
And that's it. This time of day is just beautiful. Think about it. Some people have this view. Fortunately, I don't with the sun. I do in the morning with the sun, but not in the evening when it goes away from us. Behind the disgusting chemtrails that they always cover, because they don't want us to know. Hold on one second.
I need to put
All right.
Boxy on.
Unfortunately, it's not going to go down
This
for
boxy is retroactive. Since the beginning of the stream,
another 30
that's legally binding.
minutes. I'm not going to be here in 30 minutes. I'm going to be somewhere else. This is a perfect vantage point, though, of watching this whole thing. Because most people, they don't look anymore. They don't look up. I'm going to quote Robin Williams. Politicians, I saw this on YouTube the other day. I thought it was perfect. Politicians should actually wear NASCAR jackets to show who owns them. So basically, in effect, what you're going to do is you're going to go up to this politician and look at his NASCAR jacket. Oh, I see Google on there. Oh, is that CNN? Ah, there you go. Oh, there's Twitter. Yes, MSNBC. Oh, they're beautiful, beautiful. There you go. And then you get and then who else is in there? You got all the major news networks. These are the fake politicians that are out there.
Does he think that news networks are like the primary donors of political candidates? Because that's a weird, like, misapprehension of reality to have.
You know who owns Trump? Zero.
You think Trump doesn't have donors? Yes, he does. What?
Zero, my friends. That's why everybody hates him.
Does he really not know that Trump takes political donations? He does and has.
See this country go to shit. And that's what's happening to it. Oh, isn't that beautiful though? Look at it. Look at it. Still having trouble focusing in on there. Just actually, you can see it pretty good with this phone. I'm shocked. Let's see if we can get. Let's see. Just doing some experiments with the phone. This is a Note 10, I believe. So you're telling me that's 238,000 miles away, and I'm able to, with a conventional smartphone, actually see a 40-mile diameter crater.
You can see big things from further away than small things, and the moon is big. For, like, it's far away, like, on human scale, but on a cosmic scale, it's very close. It's our moon. It's not far away, and it's large, relative to your scale. So yes, you can see it.
That's funny, guys. Real funny. How stupid I was. How stupid I was.
Idiot says they're a genius on the bingo card.
Unbelievable. How could anybody believe in this shit anymore? Anyway.
Doesn't understand how cameras work? That's more doesn't understand how, like... doesn't understand how angular size works. Like, that's not even a camera thing. That's just a general misapprehension of how scale in general applies to our ability to see things.
Have a good...
But close enough. Fuck it. He's talking about the camera. Sure. Doesn't understand how cameras work on the bingo card.
night, guys.
He's doing great.
What happens if there's a lie out there the size of the world? A lie that you've been taught all of your life, ever since you were a child that couldn't think for themselves, but had a mind that was easy to manipulate, to make them think whatever they wanted them to think. What happens if there was an institution that pumped out fake pictures, lies?
NASA. You're talking about NASA. Recording in car.
Reconditioning yourself of the lies that you thought when you were a kid. What happens if this institution were run by Freemasons
Freemasons on the bingo card. Ooh.
Military people that are under oath. What happens if this is the only picture you can rely on of the outside world? Are fake pictures being distributed by this fake institution? And there's nothing else. What happens if you can't go anywhere other than on the land or the flat land that you live on? You can't go.
NASA isn't the only space agency, but people like him, generally flat earthers, believe that NASA is secretly in charge of all this other space agencies.
Prove it to yourself.
It's nonsense, obviously, but it's a conspiracy theory, so...
Well, that's what's happening right now. Welcome to the Ball Earth people, because that's what's happening. And if you can't wake up, you'll be that Ball Earther who thinks that you live on some spinning wet ball in space that can't grasp reality and understand his or her true potential. Sorry, guys. I'm just glad us flat earthers woke up and we know what's going on, but these poor souls sure as shit don't. Merry Christmas.
That was pointless even by the standards that Cece sets for himself, so that's pretty unfortunate.